We're a group of company, essentially news and education company. We have three major titles. We've got the English, we've got Leadership Hausa, which is the most popular vernacular newspaper in Nigeria, and we have a publication called Government, which is just looking strictly at government. I look over the digital and the new media initiatives, and part of what we've done was to see how we can really encourage readership and online readership. So from in the last 13 months, we moved from, say, number 13 in online readership using a ranking criteria like Alexa. We're now number 4 in terms of online readership, and we plan to get to the top 3 before the end of this year. So in terms of engagement and readership, we're getting much more stronger online. On the print, our circulation is also very strong nationwide, but in terms of the nation's capital, we're clearly the most influential newspaper in Abuja, which is Nigeria's capital.
Many news publishers around the world are on a journey from analog to digital migration or transformation. Having been at this conference this week, how far advanced do you think is your journey in comparison with some other journeys around the world?
Right. I'll start with the local benchmark before I go to the world benchmark. Even before coming here, part of what we've done, using my knowledge in online journalism, is to integrate the print and the online newsroom such that with a single piece of content, it makes it easier to publish either in print or on the web or mobile. And what we're moving on now is to clearly separate the editorial of the print and the online, meaning that, for example, the way you engage people on the print is different from the way you engage people on the mobile or on the tablet. So the story length, the manner which you write, the use of infographics and all of that, yeah, we're going to make that a lot more stronger. And we're clearly the only one doing that now in Nigeria. For the world benchmark, I think we still probably lag behind in a few areas like analytics. So you probably find a couple of our stories wouldn't compare with what you find on The Guardian in the UK. Use of infographics, for example, citizen journalism or engagement. That's still an area where we need to really leapfrog in such a way that we can catch up with the Western media.
How about video? So many publishers are now producing video to take that to their users. Are you doing that, or is there insufficient bandwidth to consume video, or how is it playing out in Nigeria?
That's a big gap. It's a significant gap, not just for us or most of the players in Nigeria. So you probably won't go to any Nigerian newspaper website and find a video. You probably won't. Even our journalists are not trained in such a way that they can do this mojo journalism, that's mobile journalism. So a typical journalist wouldn't think of even using his phone that is video capable to even do a video of a story. And you probably find that that stems from some of the infrastructural limitations that we have in Nigeria. So, for example, even if you struggle to put up a 2-3 minute video on your website, uploading that content to your YouTube channel is a big deal because of bandwidth. For the readers, online readers, also downloading and getting to enjoy that experience from the video is also a big deal. So that's one. Infrastructure is the major limitation why we and all the other Nigerian newspapers are not significantly looking into that. But I think that's going to get better because if you look at internet penetration, it's improving. Google is doing a whole lot of infrastructure development to ensure the Nigerian government is also doing a couple of things to ensure that internet penetration gets a lot better.
Yeah, so some of the big Silicon Valley companies like Google and Facebook are now turning their attention to Africa as a whole, using ideas like balloons to create more internet access. Is this how do you feel about that, the arrival of the big internet firms in Africa to do this? Is this a good opportunity?
Yeah, it's a good opportunity, and I think a lot of these firms also realize one significant advantage that a country like Nigeria has. So if you look at what Facebook, what Google, what Twitter is doing for a continent like Africa and for Nigeria in particular, you find out that they're putting a lot of these ideas and innovations on mobile. And the reason being that the rate at which the mobile phone has grown in Nigeria from 1999, which is 0, to 2014, where we have close to 130 million mobile phones. So they pretty much realize that a lot of these ideas and initiatives has to lay on the mobile, and they are concentrating on that. So I see them and they're even getting results. So you find out that, for example, a significant portion of a Bing search is actually coming from Nigeria. And Google has a lot of mobile phone related products, which is encouraging the use of their products in Nigeria.
And for you as a publisher, so in many countries where landline infrastructure has been later to develop, you find that the consumers move to mobile internet first before they adopt desktop infrastructure and machines. Has this been the case for your publication and in Nigeria generally?
Yeah, generally. When we look at some analytics about online readership and viewership on our website, we actually notice that 66% of our traffic is coming from mobile. I can't say how much of that, if you want to separate tablet and the mobile phones now, but put together, it's about 66% of our traffic. And I think it's probably going to be the same for the other newspapers. And the reason, again, is not so difficult. You probably find millions and millions of people with a mobile phone, but without a computer. You probably find majority of the students who are extremely mobile, and they do all of their stuffs on the mobile. So that's a trend that we've seen, and that's why a lot of content producers, content owners, people who want to market stuff are looking at that media as a platform to really reach the people they want. Part of what we're looking at, which again is a big deal in Africa and especially Nigeria, is how do we make money from content? Yeah. A lot of organizations in the West, they've done that. A couple of challenges, but I think they're stabilizing. The Guardian is doing very well. FT is successful with content mobilization. The first attempt to try it in Nigeria, it was a colossal failure. Yeah, I mean, one major newspaper tried to put a paywall, and they noticed that everything was going to collapse. Within 3 months, they had to remove the paywall. So as I sit here, I continue to look at ways by which I can approach content monetization, and a couple of ideas I grabbed at this particular forum. I'm going to try my hands on them in the next coming months.
So does this suggest that for you it has to be advertising, not pay? Or a mixture?
It's a mix of, it's a mix of both, yeah. And I think the extent to which you tilt the mix, you tilt towards advertising or subscription, is a function of what you want to achieve at different points in time. So at the early age stages of your publication, if you're interested in growing traffic, building readership and all of that, then you look in the advertising direction. But when you're a bit stable, like the Financial Times, like the Guardian, then you can begin to look at content monetization through subscription. Yeah.